Well, back to one of our top stories now. Several communities in Kentucky are picking up the pieces after tornadoes destroyed multiple towns throughout the state. Recovery efforts are now underway as families band together to help their neighbors. Dozens of people are believed to be missing following the storms. So joining me now is Marvis Herring from our Louisville affiliate. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We've run several stories coming out of Mayfield, so we know how widespread and thorough the damage is there. It's been really hit hard. People have been displaced. I'm wondering, where are people going now? If their home was destroyed, or even if their home wasn't destroyed, but they don't have electricity and they need electricity, are there places for families to go, and are there ways in which other people can help?
That is one of the big questions. Good morning to you, Anne Marie. That's one of the big questions for many people in this area is what is next? What can I do right now? And so many of them did just grab hotels in town. We did know that many of the hotels in the nearby town of Paducah, those were all booked out. Many of the people coming in there asking for a place. And just recently, yesterday, they set up 2 different churches in Paducah as well for people to be able to go for temporary shelter. But new overnight, we have learned that FEMA is going to be sending down a housing expert today because the big question on the table is what is the solution for long-term housing? I mean, many of the houses looking like these buildings that you see behind me that have crumbled down or really been leveled into nothing, maybe all the way down to the foundation. So we do know that FEMA will be here, boots on the ground today, looking into a longer-term solution. But for right now, the free options are to go to 2 of these churches. I've heard people that I've spoken with over the last couple of days have told some just fantastic stories of people offering them RVs or offering to pay for them to have a hotel or even opening up their home as well. But as far as streamlined places for them to go, they've been directing them to 2 different churches over in Paducah if they can get there safely.
So, what I think of when I hear that is it's amazing how generous people can be, but also, everything has kind of the threat of COVID in the background. So I'm wondering if there are concerns about people gathering at these churches or gathering with other families. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. Are we getting any sort of advice from the powers that be about this?
There hasn't been a ton of advice. The governor has mentioned a couple of times to remember the masking. You can't really social distance, like you mentioned, when you're going over to a long-term shelter like this. But many of the people that we've been seeing coming to help, we saw a person that came from Kansas who came masked up to the house that we were at, talking to the homeowner there. Many people have been wearing those masks, but it seems as if people have kind of put COVID in the background while they try to help right now. You may not know, but Kentucky had over 2,200 new cases as of Friday, 63 more deaths as of Friday as well. So that is something that really we need to keep in mind. The whole entire state, just about the entire state, is in the red zone when it comes to incidents per capita. So really that is something that people will want to keep in mind. But the question is it really possible right now as far as social distancing goes?
I know when you're just thinking about your day-to-day survival and all that you have lost, COVID-19 just adds a whole other issue onto your plate. You mentioned that you have also heard stories of generosity, people opening up their homes to allow neighbors to move in temporarily or offering to pay for hotel rooms. We've heard a lot of terrible stories. Do you have any uplifting stories for us?
Oh yeah, one of the best ones that we saw yesterday was a man drove down maybe an hour and a half from Clarksville, Tennessee, and fired up the grill and brought hundreds of hamburger patties and chicken and sausage, eggs, and even, while he was cooking, we were interviewing him, and a woman came over and just brought a whole ham. She lives in town here. Her restaurant was destroyed, so she was bringing what she could to save out of her freezer that she was able to get to, her refrigerator that she was able to get to, and just offering up just just whatever she could. As he could cook that, he actually ran a lawn care service. So he doesn't have a restaurant. You know, he just was someone who likes to cook and came down here. There was a woman who was brought to tears because she had nothing and she was just wanting something to eat, to come over there. And just across the street, they were having a church service over in the parking lot. A church that was destroyed over here had a speaker that they got from the marching band, and they fired that speaker up and sang hymns and took communion with anybody who wanted. You could even see some of the reporters that were here were, you know, emotional. They joined that communion service. So you just have seen the community really just band right together, people giving each other rides. I mean, you hear of the people that were saved from that candle factory. They weren't able to jump into a car. So, I mean, a lot of these cars have been smashed. They've been flipped over. They've been even maybe run into some of these buildings out here. So you hear people giving people rides and RVs, like I mentioned. Some people are even turning away the generosity, but, you know, recommending someone next door. And even the best part is when you go and you're interviewing somebody, you're talking with them, and maybe they're emotional. And while you're talking to them, another neighbor just happens to drive up and say, "Hey, I'm just coming over because I haven't heard from you. I wanted to make sure that you were okay." So this is such a small area. You know that everyone is really invested in their neighbor, and you've seen that display, whether it be some people even brought to tears for all of the generosity. And that has just been amazing to see, because as we see all these buildings devastated, it can be hard not to get caught up in all of that. But then you see that warm sense of kindness that is really just being showed and displayed towards everyone. And even, you know, meals, food trucks here coming to help the first responders, coming to help, you know, anybody, and just asking for donations of whatever you can give. And if you can't give anything, still giving you the food for absolutely free. That has just been one of the best displays of kindness you can see right now during this completely life-changing moment for a lot of people here in this town.
I know it must mean the world to the people there. Mother Nature can be so cruel at times, but sometimes through her cruelty, you know, humanity shows incredible kindness. I'm really happy to hear that. I'm sure all the people there want to feel is that they have not been forgotten by their friends and neighbors who have fared better. Before I let you go, Marvis, I should sort of ask you what you are standing in the middle of. What's going on behind you?
Where we are right now, I kind of want to show you, look at this. This is really just right downtown, in the heart of downtown Mayfield. And you can see that these buildings have just clobbered right down. They've been brought down. Many of them have a couple of walls that are still standing, but you can see the bricks have crumbled. You can just see the power of that at least EF3 tornado that came through here that just ripped the roof to shreds. This is what we're seeing for the homes. We're seeing this for the businesses. And then you think about those bricks coming down, the trees coming down, the bushes coming up, and you think about people were inside of many of these buildings at the time that it came down. This is just across from City Hall. It's near the police station, which is also destroyed. It's near the fire department, which is also destroyed as well. This is just right near the heart of where everything kind of pushed through. And again, it just looks like the mayor said when she first spoke, she said it looks like a bomb went off. It definitely does. And even speaking with another reporter that was here just moments ago, we talked about how it looks almost like you're at a Universal Studios, like at a movie set, you know, that this was almost made to look like this. And it's just absolutely hard to wrap your mind around when you see some of the people have gotten to board it up. But when you see a home and you can see right into it and see the refrigerator and the bed, that you just remember people used to live here. People were living here. People were inside of here when all of this destruction took place. It is just absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah, it sounds thoroughly surreal. Marvis Herring, thanks you so much.